What's up, guys? In this video I'm going to show you how to put a paver overlay on top of existing concrete. We're going to be doing two areas, this concrete pad here and these concrete steps up here. As you can see, we have a lot more going on than just that. This is just one aspect of the job. This is a pretty large paver job. We're putting in about 1,000 square feet of paver patio and paver walkway. This is going to be a circle area here with a fire pit in the middle, and then the walkway on this side runs up along the side of the house to the driveway. Be sure to stay tuned for that video. It should come out in about a week after this one that you're watching today is posted. Right there should be good. So I'll show you the difference between the three products that we're using here today. This is the cap. You can see it has a finished face here, and this will go on the outer edge of the concrete slab up there, and also will go on the outer edge of the steps. These are the pavers. Now the reason you can't just use the pavers by themselves, because as you can see, you have these knobs on the outside. You wouldn't want to put these on the patio by itself and then have these knobs exposed. So that's the reason you have to have these caps. And then over here, this is for the riser. This will be bonded to the face of the concrete pad, so it'll go just like so. So what we did first was we made our 45 cuts for the edges here. We got both sides set up, 45s down here, 45s down there, and we figured out our distance for our overhang. Then we pulled the pavers off and we snapped some lines so we're able to lay them down straight. And what we did was I had to figure out what I wanted to do. We have like a 6-inch gap with laying these down full size, you know, with the 45s on each end. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut two pavers. I'm going to put, I think it works out to be about 11 inches each. It'll be like 11-inch piece down there and 11-inch piece down there. And the cuts won't stand out because they're only slightly smaller than the standard size. And that looks a lot better aesthetically than having one small slither just at one end. Beautiful. And we left a little bit of a gap here on the face here and on this side and underneath this post intentionally. This Trex stuff really expands and contracts, you know, with the hot and the cold. So we wanted to leave a little bit of space here just in case, you know, you don't want any movement. I don't want any pressure pushing on this and causing a potential for it to pop off from the glue. I don't think that would happen, but rather be safe than sorry. All right, so now we're ready to glue these down. And the only thing we got to take into consideration is possible water flow. These are put together pretty tight, so we shouldn't get too much water underneath, but if we do, we want it to be able to travel out. So I'm gonna run our glue lines all the same direction from back to front. So these on the side, I'm gonna run the glue lines this way, and these in the front, I'm gonna run the glue lines straight off. So that way, if any water does get in between the paver and the concrete, it could still make its way out. So we're gonna let these caps dry, and now we're gonna get started over here on the steps. What we have to do before we start gluing these down, we have to chip off some of this stuff off of the face here. We're gonna go around because we like to use the full piece if we can to avoid having to cut it. I believe it's 7 inches. So we'll clean this edge up and then we'll get the caps laid out just like we did over there. So it's been a few hours. All these caps are nice and dry. Now we're going to start getting the pavers laid in each of these landing areas. So we got almost half of this area laid. So we're just gonna start sliding the pavers down, picking them up and gluing them one by one. Now for the inlay pavers, you don't have to put as much glue as I did, like I did on the caps, because these gravity are gonna basically keep them in place. So a couple dabs, that's all you're gonna need. The caps on the edges here and the steps, you really wanna make sure those are really glued down because you don't want them to ever move. So it's the next day. This glue has had overnight to set up. Everything's bonded and secure. Now the next step is the poly sand. We're going to sweep the poly sand in, then activate it with water, just like you do with the normal paver application. But there is a difference between standard paver poly sand and overlay paver poly sand, and I'll show you that right after we get this swept in. You can see here, this is the standard stuff. It's the G2 poly sand by Gator. This is the Gator Max. This is specifically made for overlay and non-overlay applications. And I did some reading on this a while back on their website. I don't remember the exact numbers, so don't quote me on this, but I believe the Max will block about 95% of water from penetrating the joints. I think the standard stuff is more like 80%. Again, don't quote me on those numbers, but I know for a fact there is a difference, and this blocks the majority of the water, which is key for a long-lasting overlay application. So you'll see here, the only real difference as far as the installation goes of this poly sand is it needs to be watered 3 times. The regular G2, you can water it once and it's good to go. I believe the reason they want you to water it 3 times is because there's more glue in the Gator Max, so they want to make sure it's activated. So you can see I'll hit it 3 times. I wait a couple minutes in between each one. As usual, guys, thanks for watching, and make sure you click on the link at the end of this video. If it's not there yet, it'll be there in about a week, so depending on when you're watching it, the link may be there or it may not be there. But make sure you stay tuned for the follow-up to see the complete finished project, and let me know in the comments below what you guys think of these overlay pavers. I think it's a great way to improve the look of your existing concrete without having to jackhammer it all out and completely remove it. Anyways, guys, I'll catch you on the next one.